Do you want to know the number one secret that's helped me work through my triggers and feel more secure at any time I feel anxious or triggered, especially with my partners? Yes? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this later on in the video and show you a simple strategy that you can use that can really change your life and make you feel more grounded and less like emotionally reactive every time you get triggered. Now, I'm really excited to share this with you because this really has made my life a lot easier. In fact, I'm going to tell you truthfully and vulnerably, maybe around 6 or 8 years ago, I went through something really tragic that completely destroyed my nervous system, that completely destroyed my self-worth and gave me a huge sense of anxiety, took me to depression, and I almost wanted to kill myself in that state of being. My entire state was so emotionally volatile, and in the healing journey to get to where I am, the first and the most powerful thing that I had to learn to use was the art of nervous system regulation, yes, but it was the power of learning to manage all of those small things that became huge triggers in my own life and completely take me down. So what I'm going to teach you right now is something that I use even with me and my fiance today as well, when we get into moments when we're feeling broken down or we have conflict coming up, and it really helps create more power and connection in our relationship. And this is called my master trigger formula. So you may have experienced little bits of these things in different places, but you would have never experienced the collective of what I'm going to give you in this formula, and I'm going to teach it to you. So if you have your books and your pens, please bring it out, because you're going to want to write these things down and you're going to want to practice them. This is a huge secret that I'm giving you. So I'm trusting you with this, but I'm trusting you with it that you'll practice it, because that's why I'm really giving this to you. So let me tell you how this really works. Now, typically when you get into a triggered situation, the first thing that happens is your nervous system is completely dysregulated. What most people don't know is that it's not just that situation that's dysregulating your nervous system. The situation is bringing up a certain past experience or trauma which is in your brain, in your subconscious mind. That trauma, as I've said in my previous videos, is attached to your nervous system, and so that's when the alarm bells go ringing in your nervous system and freak you out in the present moment. What most of us think is, with our limited awareness, that situation, that person, those words are what's actually triggered us. Those things are just the stimulus, bringing out the pain, bringing out the fears, really, that are within us. But when that happens, we feel completely distraught. Our emotional selves take over us. We lose sight of our logical brain. We actually get into something called survival mode. And in survival mode, let's face it, there's no chance of creating real connection. There's no chance of being able to come to good understandings, create connection or love. In fact, we're creating just survival. So our coping mechanisms come out. We either attach too strongly, we close down, we try and people please, we try and fight to get our way out. We're not going to get the outcome that we really want. So what do we need to do in that moment? Remember, I told you there's a part of your mind that's involved, there's a part of your body that's involved. The easier part to take care of there first is the part of the body which is the nervous system. So the first thing that you need to do when you get triggered as part of the trigger formula is to be able to create some sense of grounding. Now, as soon as the trigger comes up, if you have the capability to be able to do it, I would recommend go to the washroom and throw some cold water on your face, your back of your neck. This will automatically allow your nervous system to kind of be shocked into the present, because where your memories and your mind are in the past. That's point number one. 2, grounding can happen in some other different ways. I'm going to teach you about grounding, and then I'm going to teach you about breath work can do it. Use a physical object, because a physical object is in the present, whereas again, your fears are in the past and in old wounds that you're bringing out into this moment. So what you want to do then is to feel into your pocket if you have keys or anything else. Really try and pay attention to the keys, and I don't just mean hold the keys while someone else is like laying it on you. I mean, feel the keys. Imagine as if your fingertips had super sensors on them. Feel the keys. Are they cold? What kind of shape are they, etc.? Don't look at them, just feel them. And then if you need to, there's other ways of grounding where you can plant your feet on the ground, feel your hands around any other surfaces if you can. Watch what's in your environment, so you can try and point out 4 different objects that you can look at in your environment, because you're constantly bringing your attention into the present, because your mind is in past and in a fearful space. So these are somatic ways that you can, somatic is physical ways that you can bring yourself into the present moment. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is breath work. Breath work is one of the fastest ways to be able to regulate your nervous system. So when you're able to manipulate, clearly manipulate is not a bad word, manipulate just means shift around. When you're able to change around your breath, you can change the way your nervous system feels. So I'm going to teach you something called box breathing that you and I are going to do together right now, okay? So again, plant your feet on the ground, allow your back to be upright, pull your shoulders back, lift up your chest, pull your chin back. Box breathing is simply breathing like a box, equal sides everywhere. So we're going to inhale for 4 seconds, hold at the top for 4, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold at the bottom for 4, okay? So let's try that. Let's breathe in through our nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now slowly exhale. 2, 3, 4. Now hold it. 2, 3, 4. Let's try it again. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Continue doing that and practice that for, if you can, when you're in a situation for around 3 to 4 minutes. It will naturally regulate your heart, regulate your lungs, regulate your breath, which will regulate your stress hormones and allow your brain and mind to calm down. This is something that's super, super important every time that you get triggered. Now, once you start to do that and you're calming yourself down, there's something more important that happens when you're getting triggered. Like I said, you're bringing up old fears. So what I like to do, and I'm going to leave you with some of this homework in a little bit, is to ask yourself a series of questions when that's coming up. So when you get triggered, I like to put myself into a witness perspective, like as if I'm a third person who's watching myself, and I say, okay, I'm reacting to something right now. It's really making me feel aggressive. These person's words are what may have triggered it, but it's not the source of what's going on. So then I ask myself, what am I really hurting from in that moment? Am I really hurting from, or what am I really afraid of in that moment? Am I afraid of, something that they've said, just the way I feel, that I'm going to be alone, that they're going to leave me, that this makes me look not good enough, etc. And then in that space, I want you to close your eyes with me and try this, okay? So imagine as we've got triggered and we're really feeling enraged. We've done a little bit of breathing, a little bit of grounding. We're able to calm down a little bit. You place one hand on your heart, another hand on your stomach. This is a process of part of self-soothing. This is part of our inner safety process. As you're soothing them, you can gently rub them in concentric circles if you need. And then to simply say to yourself, I am still present here. I am safe. I am loved. I am grounded. I am valuable, no matter what that other person says or what's going on. I am good enough, no matter what the other person says, no matter what's going on around me. I know I'm good enough. I am valuable. I deserve my own compassion right now. I deserve my own peace. I know that things will work out for me because I am here for me. I'm here by my side. I'm here to soothe me. I am safe. Just slowly try and give yourself this soothing in that moment. Now, these are 3 steps that I'm giving you in the inner safety process of my master trigger formula. There's a lot more to it, which involves a lot of the subconscious healing and the stuff that's in your mind that you bring up that I can't give you just over video. You have to practice it with us. And that is the ultimate level of continues the healing. But for this itself, it's so important to practice. Just practice this every time you get into a trigger. And then the 4th piece that comes with this master trigger formula is communicating how you feel to the other person. But instead of saying normally when you get triggered, you made me feel like this, you triggered me. Instead, now that you know that you don't feel safe, now that you know you're afraid of something, communicate using the words I. This is so important. So instead of saying you made me feel, say, I feel scared right now. I feel angry and I know I'm taking it out, but I feel angry that my voice is not heard, that my opinion is not being respected. I feel unheard. I feel unsafe right now, and I really need to find a way to feel safe. Just communicate from an I, and you're automatically disarming even your partner, your boss, everybody else's ego around you, which then prevents you from getting further triggered down this rabbit hole of what you're going through.